Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the first Alviso of the season, the first race of the season. Okay, it's not an actual sanctioned race, it's a practice race, but still, this is a great opportunity to test the legs, to see how they respond to some intensity. Let's dive right into it. All right, we're 2 laps into this race, and up the road, I see my sworn enemy Blaine on Thirsty Bear start to attack. I preempted. I'm already on the power because I want to get into his slipstream as quickly as possible and make sure that I'm spending as little time out in the wind as possible. And this is looking really good so far. I mean, this is the time of year, right, guys, where you don't know if you still have it. Like, is the fitness there? Is the race strategy there? This is the time of year where I either overestimate or underestimate my ability. I make all sorts of mistakes. And that's why it's good to come out to these practice races, competitive group rides, training clinics, that sort of thing, to kind of dust off the cobwebs and see where you're at. Like right here, for example, not looking great. I'm not really holding the wheel here. Doing a lot of solo training these days, guys. Not really used to holding the wheel like I should. And this is where the first big mistake happens right here. What am I doing on the front, doing close to 500 watt pulls? Like, huh? Like, what's the plan here? I have a teammate in this race, by the way. Ryan is back. He should be back sheltered. There is no reason for me to be going this deep, like sustained over 400 this early on in the race with some of the strongest guys in tow. So mistake number 1 is just not knowing my limitations, right? I've been doing all these like zone 2, zone 3 workouts. I haven't done any intensity. I can usually take a pull this hard and this long, like with June fitness, but not with January fitness. And that unnecessarily hard pull I took is stupid, yes, because it tired me out. But also now look, I have these gaps I have to go up over 700 watts in order to close down. Those gaps were a direct result of my just going unnecessarily hard on the front. So I'm paying for it twice with 2 hard efforts in a very short period of time. Don't be like me. Don't forget the famous words of Mr. Brian Larson, my frenemy: slow is smooth and smooth is fast. A quick message from the sponsor of this video, and that is Hex Tech Cycle. Is that what it says? No, these are my Bombas socks. Look, I don't know what Hex Tech Cycle means, but I can tell you how these feel on your feet, because you guys know I love my Bombas socks. They feel like they just kind of disappear on your foot. It's kind of hard to describe, but they have this stay-up technology. They have there's like no seams. I don't know how they do it. They're incredibly comfortable. The designs look pretty fly, not gonna lie. I like the way they look. More than that, they're a great company. They have a buy one, give one policy, and for that, what that means is for every pair of socks that you buy, they give one to a homeless shelter. Socks are one of the most requested items, so if you want to help support that wonderful cause and support this channel at the same time, I urge you to check out the link in the description. And with that said, let's get back into some racing. So eventually teammate Ryan bridges across and just attacks straight through the front riders like a boss. And this is great because this is finally going to give me a chance to sit in, chill, rest, and recover from those 2 kind of dopey efforts that I did. But still did a big effort there. And now Blaine goes, so now I'm going to do another really hard effort here up close to 1,000 watts to chase Blaine down. And I just need to chill. Like, this comes back to mistake number 1. We're still on mistake number 1, which is understand your limitations. I cannot do these hard efforts over and over and over. It is not June. It is January. So teammate Ryan off the front, and here I go again, just being a dum-dum. Guys, I don't like showing this off because this is not the right way to do it. This is me not listening to my own advice. And, I mean, here I go. Like, my teammate's up the road in a breakaway, and now I'm just going to attack through this rider? Like, I am... God, what is one of the number 1 thing I say is never chase your teammates. I mean, it could have been worse, I guess. I could have brought riders with me. But this is a monster effort that I'm putting in order to close a monster gap, all while committing a monstrous blunder in bike racing. And it's all just because I'm so desperate to be up here in the mix. And by the time I finally do close the gap down, I'm at 174 beats per minute, and traffic has slowed the lead riders down. It's the Alviso gods, you guys. It's the Alviso gods looking down upon my awful race decisions and punishing me. And just in case you hadn't seen enough, one final idiotic move here. Actually, there's more. There's more to come. But here I am over 1,000 watts, again in pursuit of my teammate. This is cringe. This is cringe. I should not be doing this. But here I go. I just really want to be up there with my teammate. making bad decisions again, doing another big effort to close this gap down. I think this one was even bigger. It's the same straightaway, going even deeper. Still 14 kilometers left in this race, so we're like not even halfway through this race, and I am just committing energy to this bridge attempt. And at least my teammate Ryan's got a head on his shoulders today, because I did not bring my A game, and he sees what I've done. He drops back like a total boss and helps me out. He can probably see that I'm struggling. He probably sees the look in my face and sees that I'm struggling, and he drops back, gives me a little bit of assistance just to close down those final few meters up to the lead group of 4. So this is the selection of the day, and with me and my teammate both making this lead group, let's see what my final mistake number 3 is and how I can torpedo our chances on Team Mike's bikes for taking down the W. Okay, and that brings us into the last lap. I have Ryan, my teammate, in front of me, leading things out for the sprint like a boss, and even responding to this predictable late race attack by Blaine. But notice how he doesn't just go absolutely nuts. He even looks back right there, makes sure I'm on. And the reason he does this is to make sure that I'm in his draft and I'm not burning too much energy in order to stay in the pocket, stay in that draft, conserving as much energy as possible until the final 200 meters of this race. So this is a really classy move by Ryan. And again, like, I'm just not holding the wheel. This is just a mistake, but it's the result of doing a lot of solo training early in the season. The finesse, the touch will come back, but just more unnecessary energy here I'm spending in order to get back into the wheel. But in any case, we still have Blaine off the front. Ryan is continuing to chase him back, and he's continuing to look back at me to make sure that I am in the pocket, sheltered from the wind. And it was about at this point in the race, talk about bad timing, about 1 kilometer to go where I started kind of doing that mental math. I was like, oh, my heart rate is 176 beats per minute. I mean, I wasn't looking at my computer, but the way I was feeling was like, I'm not feeling so great. All of those early efforts are starting to catch up with me. And I'm starting to envision how the end of this race is going to play out. I'm thinking, wow, Timmy packs a pretty serious punch. And Ryan is Ryan. He is very strong. I know he's still going to have the energy to lead me out, but can I actually finish from this situation? I have dug myself such a deep hole. Can I sprint out of this situation and fend off the likes of Timmy, who's behind me still, and he's been in the draft for a very long time. I know he's fresh. I know he's going to have a lot of snap left in his legs. And as we round the final corner, this marks mistake number 3, which is underestimating your competition. I thought back to last summer, when I was fit, I was going good. I had a couple of head-to-heads with Timmy, and I was able to take him in a sprint each time. So I even go early, like more than 200 meters. Again, this is just underestimating my competition. And I get out in the wind, and look, I can't even barely make 1,000 watts. The legs are screaming at me. They're mad at me for all those stupid early efforts, and they're mad at me for trying to go this deep in January. And Timmy, just with ease, comes around me with less than 100 meters to go, makes it look easy. So congrats to Timmy on the win. Very well deserved, very well timed. And look, guys, the power I made was actually kind of good, but it was mostly spent unnecessarily making mistakes. And this is what January practice crits are for. We work on these things, we correct our mistakes, and then come June, we are crushing our enemies in the Summer Crit series. So don't forget about the Bombas link down in the description. Help support this channel. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one.